and select 2.
There we go. Last draw of the season. Second to last, actually. Because you, of course, have to draw for server 2. Toyota GR86. It's the first card that goes to the final draw. Second card that will go to the final draw will be the GT4.
Okay, let's move over to the tracks. Those are the tracks available for tonight, server 1. And let's select 2.
Alright then, first track to the final draw will be Lime Rock Chicanes. That was almost in the middle. Alright, let's see what the second track into the final draw will be. So I have Lime Rock already. It's going to be Zandvoort GP once again. I mean, it's destined to be Zandvoort at this point, Miko. 4th time this season, I think.
You called it again. Let's see now if it works.
4th time this season. It's just finally going to be lucky.
Okay, I think we are ready to select a track. Let's go.
So, Lime Rock Chicanes, or Zandvoort GP. Zandvoort has been in the final draw 4 times this season, but it's not going to be enough to be picked because it's going to be Lime Rock Park Chicanes. Let's see which car we have.
Which car will it be then? Predict it, please.
I'm going to say Toyota GR86, and then it's going to be GT4.
Okay, let's go. Standing start, obviously, in both cases. Single lap quali, as usual. Keep an eye on the...
Oh, I should get it right this time. It's going to be Toyota GR86.
There you go. So it's going to be Toyota GR86 at Lime Rock. And yeah, have fun. See you guys later for the second drop.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening for the final time in 2023 for the W12 Sprint Series. This is the last round of Season 5. And well, you might have guessed it, Mirko Bortolotti leading the championship coming into this round. For the first server, we have drawn Lime Rock Park with the Toyota GR86. And as always, this 2.37 kilometer long track with chicanes will provide us with all the action. All of the chicanes are in it, even the chicane for the second to last corner where we normally just take a right. That horrible chicane that no one really wants to do. Well, even that one is in it. And well, for tonight, of course, the championship standings with the drop scores applied. That is something that, of course, a lot of you will have forgotten. There are drop scores. And with those drop scores, the championship at the moment is looking as follows in the overall class, which of course is the most important going into this round. It is Mirko Bortolotti leading on 266 points. Behind that is Lucas Müller on 232 points. The only driver who could realistically still attack Mirko at the top of the championship, but it won't happen. I can tell you that much. He isn't here. Lucas Müller isn't here, so that means that Mirko Bortolotti, as long as he doesn't get a point deduction and he doesn't do anything crazy here this evening, he will be crowned champion once again. So a bit anticlimactic with the fact that Lucas Müller won't be here, but nonetheless, some great racing action awaiting you. Then it's Jonas Varna on 161 points. Niels Langeveld, 2 very good rounds after one another. That means that he is in P4, 151 points. He's also going to overtake both Jonas Varna and maybe Lucas Müller if he picks up enough points. And that would then make it a GazX 1-2 in the championship. BS Plus competitions, Marius Zug is in 5th, ahead of Hendrik Augustin in 6th, Benedict Hitz in 7th, Walter Lux in 8th, Winston Eckel in 9th on 100 points, 98 points for Florian Becker, Martin Stadtmann in 11th, Jens Fiedler in 12th, Marin Kordanowski in P13, Robert Heger P14, Hendrik Störer P15, Benny Moser 16th, Hugo Rob 17th, Quinten Verdonk in 18th, Tyler Klaus in 19th, and Hugo Zasse in P20. Looking further on in the championship, we have in P21 Chanter, Pascal Haas in P22, Yannick Wonenberg in P23 on 27 points. He only took part in his first round last time round on Monday. Florian Stadtmann 24th, Daniel Zohn 25th, Christoph Steiner 26th, Maximilian Paul 27th, was quickest in practice in these GR86s. Lucas Grambert in 28th, Stefano Pellegrino 29th, and Ben Buhnagel in P30. P31 for Torsten Gross, Tom Leitgeb in P32, Manix Heister P33, Philippe Hugrin P34, Ben Green P35, Jan Lins P36, Chris Meyer P37, Matthew Ralton 38th, Dave Hurma and Christian Ablason, the same amount of points, 39th and 40th respectively. And then the last one to score points behind that is Stefan Capella and Mario Troma in P41 and P42. On to the Silver Championship then. And that is looking as follows. Florian Stadtmann leading the way ahead of Quinten Verdonk in P2. Ben Buhnagel 3rd. Stefano Pellegrino 4th. Tom Leitgeb in 5th. Torsten Gross in 6th. Jan Lind 7th. Philippe Hugrin in 8th. Christoph Steiner 9th. And Matthew Ralton rounding off the top 10. Dave Hurma in 11th. Christian Ablasser in P12. Manix Heister P13. Chris Meyer 14th. Mario Trummer 15th. 16th for Marcus Deutsch. Michael Dörlinger in 17th. Benedikt Hochleitner, the last one to pick up any points in that championship at the moment. Looking on then, because at the moment, out on track, the drivers are qualifying. This is how we're looking at the moment. Marius Zug has pole position. That, when I say it, gets beaten by Yannick Wonenberg by about a tenth of a second. 104.36, he says. Marin Kordanowski in 3rd, Chanter 4th. Pascal Haas in 5th. Well then, with the fact that he has already wrapped up the championship, Mirko Bortolotti is not going to qualify in both servers, so he's not going to qualify in this round. Neither is he going to qualify in the next server. So that means that he will be starting from the back of the field. Maximilian Paul hasn't set a lap time yet. Hugo Rob is at the moment on his lap. I'm thinking that he can do well. He goes across the line for Hugo Rob, and it's a P4. Indeed, does do well, but Daniel Sommer in P1 has set a 103.97, and that is quite an impressive lap time to set off the go. Maximilian Paul was quickest in practice, but it looks like he hasn't got it together in qualifying. Same can be said for a couple of drivers. Winston Eckel down the order in P16. Quinten Verdonk in P15. Martin Stadtmann behind Florian Stadtmann. Two brothers together on the grid at the moment. Marek Jordanowski finally has been able to put a lap together this season. That puts him in P5. Marius Zug in third. It's a good qualifying for him, of course. Yannick Wonenberg in P2 and Daniel Sommer in P1. That's how we're looking at the moment. With about 2 minutes to go, I feel like not a lot is going to change here anymore. I feel like it's also not 2 minutes to go. There we go, minute 30 left in the qualifying session. This is a very short track. Lap times here are close to a minute. Pole position lap time, as you can see, top left hand side, a 103.97. So I'm expecting the drivers to turn quite a lot of laps here. That means the race will feel very long, because usually your brain is set to not doing that many laps. But if every minute, just about, you can do 1 lap, that means that, well, you're almost going to do as many laps as there's minutes in a race. And well, in the feature race, that's quite a lot. That's about 18, 17 laps that you're going to do. While usually you would get about 10, 11. Niels Langeveld, he's also down the order, hasn't set a lap time either. Quite a lot of drivers who haven't been able to set a lap time. And also quite a lot of drivers absent from this race. Well, that was qualifying, 10 seconds left. Nobody's going to improve. Nobody's even out on track anymore. Let's get you the starting grids on screen as soon as we have those for you. Well, here we go. A grid for heat race number 1 is an important one, because you want to set yourself up well. This is for the pole position in the overall race. So you want to get off to a good start. Looking at the grid then, in P1 we find Daniel Sommer, P2 Marius Zug, Marek Jordanowski in P3, Pascal Haas, P4 Florian Stadtmann in 5th, Benny Moza in 6th, Tom Lightcap 7th, Quinten Verdonk in 8th, 9th for Mirko Bortolotti, of course without that qualifying time of his. He still would be able to pick up a pole position for the feature race here. Jens Fiedler P10, Hugo Zasse in P11 and Thomas Egerwolf in P12. That is your whole grid. So let's head down to the grid as we're waiting for the 5 red lights to come on. Drivers have about 2 minutes to grid up. A minute and a half already of that has passed. We're waiting at the moment on Mirko Bortolotti and Thomas Egelwolf. Mirko's on the grid. Only one waiting on is Thomas Egelwolf. He won't be getting to the grid. The 5 red lights are going to be coming on very soon. Going to be on the gantry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Green flag.
And the 5 red lights go out, and we're underway for the second to last survey here of the 2023 W12 Sprint Series season number 5. Down the inside immediately goes Daniel Sommer on Marius Zug on the outside, the 95 machine. That is actually not the 95 machine, that's the 66 machine. Of course, that 95 from Lightning McQueen on the side of that car. Mariko Jordanovsky is behind that in third. Daniel Sommer's going to try and make his way past. It's not going to work though. The inside defended by Marius Zug, but Marius Zug's under an immense amount of pressure. Look what's behind him. Pascal Haas can make his way through. On Florian Stadtmann as well, he's going to have to make his way around the outside if he wants to do so. And Florian Stadtmann's going to say, well, that's not going to happen here. I might be in the silver class, but I'm not that easy to put aside. He does then finally get him. Mirko Bortolotti coming through from the back of the field. Oh, where's Mariko Jordanovsky gone? He's had to lift from a good start. It's 0-0 really from Mariko Jordanovsky. Hugo Zasse now behind Florian Stadtmann. Mirko Bortolotti already up to P4. And from how it looks at the moment, he could be looking still in the pole position here. Look at the speed that he's carrying through some of these corners. Just immensely quick compared to the other drivers. Seconds is the gap to P1 from Mirko Bortolotti. 92 machine. Still about 24 drivers here this evening. And judging by the fact that we have Christmas commitments and everything, oh, he's pushing. Mirko Bortolotti wants to push Pascal Haas, try and work together, try and work as a team. And he's going to use that to his advantage. He's going to switch back him down at the turn 1. And that is what Mirko Bortolotti can do so well. It's calculating what's going to happen and then actually execute it. And he's done that there once again. 1.2 seconds is the gap now to Marius Zug. About a second is the gap to Daniel Sommer. Daniel Sommer still pressurizing Marius Zug. And Marius Zug defending where he needs to. This is the battle for the lead. Down the inside, once again, Daniel Sommer has a look. Marius Zug knows where to defend and where not to. The only thing that at the moment Sommer is doing is slowing them both down. About 2 minutes 50 to go. Not a lot of time left on the clock. And I can bet you that Mirko Bortolotti is going to look to get these moves done ASAP. He's going to keep it tight. So is Marius Zug. He's going to run out a bit wide. That's going to give him a better exit. Once again, he has to slot in behind. Can't really make a move. Inside the car, then on the roll bar of Daniel Sommer, has to choose the outside for the chicane this time. Marius Zug lets him live, but he's slowing them both down. He's not playing this very tactically as Daniel Sommer. That's one thing, that's for sure. So then, how long is left, you may ask? Well, top left of your screen, 1 minute 36 is left. And finally, he's able to go for the move. going to have to go around the outside as Daniel Zoma. Marius Suk has defended for so long. He's once again going to have to go in deep. The outside is possible here. But Mirko Bortolotti had to drop off again to Pascal Haas. The outside once again for Daniel Zoma's going to turn into the inside. There's contact between the two. Marius Suk gets sent off the track, and Daniel Zoma might still not have the lead because Pascal Haas is coming through. Even contact between those two on the straight, and Pascal Haas takes the lead. Daniel Zoma once again having to chase, and Mirko Bortolotti is in with a shot at this. Contact on the straight between Pascal Haas and Daniel Zoma. Never what you like to see, never what you need to see. Contact on the straight, so unnecessary between the two of them, but has made both of them lose time. Bortolotti slotting in behind. White flag lap this is. The two of them going to fight down on the turn one. Pascal Haas on the inside, Daniel Zoma on the outside. If Daniel Zoma can keep it here, this is going to turn into the inside once again for the left-hander. Mirko Bortolotti is waiting his chance. He's going to get a better exit here. That's what he's going to do. He's going to chase down Pascal Haas now. Look at the exit that Mirko Bortolotti just got. He's going to try and push both of them through. Daniel Zoma finally has that lead that he so much wanted. Pascal Haas at the inside of Mirko Bortolotti. They're going to carry it side by side through the chicane. And at some point, someone had to give, and that someone was Pascal Haas. Mirko Bortolotti now chasing down Daniel Zoma, but I think it's too little too late for Mirko Bortolotti. Daniel Zoma's going to get what he wanted that whole race long. 6 minutes of fighting for Daniel Zoma is going to result in the position that he would have liked from the beginning, and that is P1. He's going to start from pole position in the last race of Server 1 of the season. And Mirko Bortolotti, after starting from 12th, well, he has fought his way back up to P2. Pascal Haas dropping down to P3, but Marius Suk, after contact with Daniel Zoma, he finishes P4, so not too bad still for the man. Well then, that was that. Let's go to the grid for race number 2. Because race number 2 equally as important, since race number 2 decides P2, 4, 6, 8 and so onwards. Yannick Wonnenberg will start from pole position there. Hugo Ropp in second, Chanter in third, Torsten Gross in fourth, Martin Stadtmann in fifth, Lucas Grambe sixth, Marcus Deutsch seventh, Winston Eckel down in eighth. I expect him to climb. Niels Langeveld, same from him. Maximilian Paul, exact same thing from him. So those three are probably going to be climbing as a group, and then Christian Ablasa in 11th. Going down then. Green. Well then, the fire red lights are already out and we're green. A great start though for Hugo Ropp. He's going to set off into the distance. Yannick Wonnenberg from pole position in the Oreo cars is going to have to defend even P3, because Sean Thayer is going to make his way around the outside. Sean Thayer hits the grass and that is going to set him back. A better exit though. They're going to be carrying it 3 wide into the left-hander. And Sean Thayer gets through on Yannick Wonnenberg. Yannick Wonnenberg turned in as if no one was there. So that's not smart. Oh my goodness, Winston Eckel is going to get through. But who was that spinning off into the background? Niels Langeveld it was. Niels Langeveld went off track. Let's see what exactly happened there for Niels Langeveld. Is on the inside there. Oh, that's Winston Eckel, and Winston Eckel can't really do much more than what he did there. I have a feeling that that might be on Niels Langeveld himself. Let's take a look from the chopper cam. Here we go, Niels Langeveld, little car on screen. Oh yeah, Niels Langeveld just tries to come to the right hand side. That's not how you take that corner anyways. And Winston Eckel is there. Well, Niels Langeveld ruining his own race before it even really began. Winston Eckel though, he's gotten through. A mistake ahead of him from Maximilian Paul. Well, from Torsten Gross, I have to say. And that allows Winston Eckel through. Maximilian Paul is ahead of him. Like I said, I expect these drivers to come through. Lucas Grambe is now the next target. Then it's Sean Terry in P3, Martin Stadtmann in P2. But I think Hugo Rob, with the pace that he has shown this season, he's finally going to see a victory, and that means that he will be starting from the front row in the feature race. Oh, it's a bit wide. That's a different line than other people take there. Is he going to pay off though? That's the question for Hugo Rob. The exit is better. Is he going to carry that speed all the way down this straight? It looks like he is. Maximilian Paul, he's an interesting one. Let's take a lap on board with Maximilian Paul coming into turn 1. First across the start finish line, then braking just about at the 2, and between the 1 and 2 board, keeping it tight all the way through. Ahead of us we have Lucas Grambe. It was Maximilian Paul comfortably the quickest, goes down the inside of Lucas Grambe there. And the next one on this list is Sean Terry. He's about a second and a half ahead of him. Judging by the pace that Maximilian Paul has had so far in this race, that's not going to take too long to close for him. It's about another 3 laps left after this one, so plenty of time. Lucas Grambe under pressure from Winston Eckel as well. Here is Winston Eckel coming onto the straight. He's right up alongside him now. Went into turn 1, braking right about at the 2. Both braking almost at the same time. Winston Eckel able to keep it tight. He's going to follow Maximilian Paul through. Now the pace that Maximilian Paul has shown lately has been nothing less but impressive, to say the least. The German driver has proven, especially in practice, that he's extremely quick in these cars. But is it going to pay off? I don't think he's going to be able to get P1, but he's closing in rapidly on Chante. Martin Stadtmann is not too far ahead of that either. You know what they say, it's one thing to catch up, it's another thing to overtake, actually. Further back in the field, Torsten Gross is right up the back of Lucas Grambe now as well. Lucas Grambe is just dropping back. Christian Ablasa, well, here he is. All the way down the order. P11, Dennis Niels Langeveld. Also all the way down the order. Then it's Marcus Deutsch, Yannick Wardenberg. We didn't get off to the greatest starts in W12 history. P8, Hugo Rob still leading the race ahead of Martin Stadtmann. That gap has come down massively though. We are, however, going to be going on to the white flag lap. Maximilian Paul's gotten past Chanter, but I think it's a bit too far to overtake Stadtmann. Stadtmann has put in quite impressive pace here, but Maximilian Paul is still about 0.4 of a second quicker. Even while overtaking Chanter, he was still about 0.3 of a second quicker than Martin Stadtmann. Tells you the pace of this man. In the background, you can see Winston Eckel. Is he going to be able to get Chanter? I don't think so either. Well then, Martin Stadtmann at the front has given it a good shot, but it wasn't enough. We're on board with the Austrian driver, Hugo Rob. Oh, he's going to give it to him. He's got to give it to him. Hugo Rob is not going to start from the front row for the first time this season. He's going to have to start from the second row, and he's not happy with that. Martin Stadtmann, though, at the last lap of the race, got the victory in Heat Race 2. So he will start from the front row of the field. Well, then you can say all you like, but we still have a consolation race to go. Quinten Verdonk in P1 ahead of Lucas Kramberg, Benny Moser in third, Torsten Groos in fourth, Marinko Jordanovski in fifth, Yannick Wonenberg in P6, Tom Leitgeb 7th, Marcus Deutsch 8th, Florian Stadtmann 9th, and P10 for Niels Langeveld, Hugo Zasse, P11, P12 for Christian Ablasser, and P13 for Thomas Egelwolf. Let's head down to the grid, where the drivers will be awaiting the 500 lights. There he is. And it's a great start for Quinten Verdonk. This is going to set the grid from P11 and onwards. Up the inside goes Marinko Jordanovski. He gets up into P12 for the feature race. P13 at the moment for Torsten Groos. A great start for all of the drivers here. Florian Stadtmann gets another position. He's doing really well at the moment. Lucas Kramberg. He is down 2 from the start. Down 9 is Benny Moser. So what has happened to Benny Moser? Well, Benny Moser went off the track. I have a feeling this is all the way at turn 1. The car on the outside here. Oh, gets an oversteer moment. Another oversteer moment. Tries to catch it. Tries to come back onto the track. There's no room for him. And of course you have to do this in a safe manner. Finally he's able to get back on track. And that is all the way at the back of the field. Thomas Egelwolf at P13 at the moment. He hasn't even started this race. Marinko Jordanovski has taken the lead from Quinten Verdonk. This is where it all started, I think. No, this is where it started. Let's see what happens here. This is coming up the hill. Both of them going back and forth. Inside for Marinko Jordanovski, the outside for Quinten Verdonk. That is how that move was completed. Quinten Verdonk now has dropped back to third as well. Torsten Groos has gotten past him. He's driving a majestic race so far, or a majestic service so far, Torsten Groos. Stadtmann is out, Tom Leitgeb is out of this race. Here's what happened to Tom Leitgeb. Tom Leitgeb on the outside thing there. Oh God, 3 wide gentlemen. Oh, okay. Tom Leitgeb in the 113. Is that car still able to go around the track? Because I'd be pretty surprised if it was. Anyways, he's back in pit lane, so I think that indicates to me that he wasn't. This is Florian Stadtmann. It's the yellow and black car, middle of your screen. Oh, he's just going to go deep. He's going to spin into the path. Oh my God. He was spinning off into the path of Yannick Wonenberg. Back then to live pictures, Torsten Groos. Still trying to catch up to Marinko Jordanovski. Quinten Verdonk under pressure now from Yannick Wonenberg. Yannick Wonenberg's trying to make up for that horrible heat race that he had. And it's Lucas Kramberg with Hugo Zasse hot on his heels. Zasse opts for the inside of the turn 1. But he doesn't quite have the overspeed you need to complete that move. He goes for the outside, the inside covered by Lucas Kramberg. That's exactly what he needs, because now he can indicate, or he can dictate the line through the corner, and he does so successfully. Lucas Kramberg stays ahead of Hugo Zasse. Hugo Zasse is trying everything to get past Lucas, but it isn't quite to be. He's the last one still on track. There he is. Of course, he had that moment together with Tom Lightgib. Niels Langeveld at the back of the field as well. He only has gained 1 position from where he started. It looks like he has had another incident. This is what happened to Niels Langeveld. Middle orange. Oh yeah, okay. That was Niels Langeveld, okay. There we go. He had that incident with Niels Langeveld. Marinko Jordanovski still at the front of the field, about 0.6 of a second to lead. We're going to get the white flag this time round. We have already gotten the white flag this time round. Torsten Gross is doing everything he needs to do. But I think it's too little too late with Marinko Jordanovski at the front of the field, about 0.8 ahead of him. It's already closed that gap down to about 0.6 of a second, but it wasn't quite to be. Gap opens up to 1.2 seconds, and I think we can safely say if Jordanovski manages to navigate that last chicane without any trouble, he's going to start from P11 in this race. And he's going to do so successfully. Last corner, don't go out wide. There's no point taking that risk. There's Barney on the right-hand side of the screen, waving the checkered flag for Marinko Jordanovski. And he's going to start from P11. Torsten Gross comes through in P2 in this race. P12 for him. Yannick Vonenberg in P13. And Quinten Verdonk at P14. Lucas Kramberg holds on over Hugo Zasse. Markus Deutsch just about got passed by Niels Langeveld at the line. 18 thousandths of a second between the two. And now let's go into the feature race. Let's go to the grid. Grid for this race is as follows. As we wait for it to pop up, of course, we have a warm-up session before. So we wait for about 2 minutes for all the drivers after those races to take a bit of a rest. Because remember, the drivers that finished top 5 in the heat race have been sitting there fiddling with their fingers for the last 5 to 10 or for the last 5 to 7, 8 minutes, because of course they were not allowed to compete. They can't compete in the consolation race. That's only the drivers who finish 6th and lower in the heat races. Top 5 in the heat races immediately advances through to the feature race. Here we go then. Let's have a look at the grid for the feature race. It's going to be Daniel Zoma starting from the pole position ahead of Maarten Stadtman in P2, Mirko Bortolotti on P3, Hugo Rob P4, Pascal Haas P5, Maximilian Paul 6, Marius Soek 7, Sean Terry 9th is Jens Fiedler, Winston Eckel in 10th, Marinko Jordanovski in 11th, and Torsten Gross in P12. P13 for Yannick Vonenberg, 14 Quinten Verdonk, Lucas Kramberg 15, Hugo Zasse 16, Benny Moser 17, Niels Langeveld P18. Expect him to gain quite a lot of positions if he can stay clean this time. Markus Deutsch 29th, or 29th, 19th, Christian Ablasat 20th, 21st for Tom Lightgib, 22nd for Florian Stadtman, and 23rd for Thomas Egelwolf. Well then, here's Daniel Zoma at the front of the field. The 5 red lights are coming on. And we're underway for the last feature race of the season. And Mirko Bortolotti has immediately passed Martin Stammmann. Hugo Rupp has passed him on the outside. It's 3 wide between the Kazakh drivers going into turn 1. And well, Daniel Sommer had a mare of that one, hit the inside curb. He bounced off it, and he's still having a mare, still trying to keep that car on the track. Does so successfully, but Hugo Rupp is leading the way ahead of Mirko Bortolotti. Martin Stammmann has found his way back through to the front. Marius Zug in P5 now. He's been passed by Maximilian Paul. Also dropping back is Daniel Sommer. Pascal Haas is also dropping back. Winston Eckel is now up too because, well, Pascal Haas has just had a mare. He's facing backwards. Hugo Rupp's leading the way, 8/10 of a second over Mirko Bortolotti. Well, there, Mirko Bortolotti challenging Hugo Rupp down on the turn 1. Hugo Rupp is having to slow down. Did he get an off track? I am wondering. Did it say that he left the track somewhere? No, it doesn't, so I can't really explain, but I think he had an off track there, had a slow down, and that tells you that you have to give up time. Well, he definitely did that there. With that, drops back all the way to P4. That once again alludes to what I've been saying all the last 2 weeks. And that is that Hugo Rupp is a very quick driver, but he just can't seem to keep it on the track, keep it on the black stuff. And I've no reason why, because I know Hugo really well, and I know that in the races that I watch with him, he's able to keep it on the track every single time. But it seems like as soon as it comes to W12, something changes, and, well, bad luck strikes him or whatever. Well, he's just seemingly not able to keep it on the black stuff. Marius Zug up 2 positions. Daniel Sommer still down 5. What a start he had. My God. Take a look back at it. See how many moments he had. God blimey. Let's look at Daniel Sommer. Here we go. 5 red lights. From the chopper cam. He got away well. Hugo Rupp on the outside got away even better. Daniel Sommer did not get away. Or Max. Who was it that was starting a little bit further back? There's the first moment. Crashing into Mirko Bortolotti. Then still having a couple of moments being touched again. So a difficult start, just missing speed at the beginning stage in this race. From there on in, it was just been, well, defending City for him. Maximilian Paul. He is trying to chase down Martin Stammmann. I'm feeling that Maximilian Paul could attack Mirko Bortolotti for the victory here. Here is the biggest gap so far. 2.7 seconds from Winston Eckel to Daniel Sommer. Into the pit lane goes Daniel Sommer. He's opted after that start for an early pit stop. Marius Zug in number 66. I expected better pace from him coming into this race. It is all checking up a bit again at the front on the field. ahead of him. But once again, he's able to keep up with the drivers ahead of him. Who's got the fastest lap of the race at the moment? Well, that is Maximilian Paul, 103.70. And they're all three catching up to Mirko Bortolotti. Of course, Maximilian Paul is taking them with him. But at the moment, ladies and gentlemen, it's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the Gazakh team. And it's Jens Fiedler. Please don't crash, because that'll allow more Gazakh drivers to come through to the front. Because the next one actually is down at P10, Florian Stadtmann. So 4 drivers in between now. It's almost 3 wide going into the chicane. Gentlemen, how are you making this work? Lucas Kramberg has saved all the pace for the feature race, it seems like. He's found some incredible speed. Sean Taylor also at 1 in P7. Mirko Bortolotti coming through once again, still keeping that car about 1.6 ahead of Maximilian Paul. Oh, there is why, because Maximilian Paul is under attack from Martin Stadtmann and Hugo Rob. Hugo Rob couldn't quite get through, neither could Martin Stadtmann. Maximilian Paul made a mistake, and that allowed both of the drivers to get out the inside of him. Wasn't quite speed for the both of them. Further back in the field, Niels Langeveld only up 3 so far. However, though, he has already made a pit stop, so Winston Eckel, when he made a pit stop, he was about P7. So for Niels Langeveld, he's already here. So the amount of pace and speed that he's had so far. Marius Zug, the leading drivers of whom have made a pit stop. Here he is for reference. In the background, you can see Winston Eckel. Niels Langeveld has gotten past Winston Eckel. Keeps it tight. A better exit though for Winston Eckel's going to allow him to come back at him on the straight. And never mind, that gap is too big. Maximilian Paul about second ahead now of Martin Stadtmann. He has his own battle with Hugo Rob. Going into the chicane, Martin Stadtmann stays ahead of Hugo Rob. Hugo Rob, however, is shown the inside. It's getting feisty between the teammates. Hugo Rob now should be able to get past it. Keeps it very tight going into the chicane. Two of them are going to carry it side by side through there. That's amazing racing from the two. Who's going to come out ahead though? It is Hugo Rob, who finally gets himself onto the podium. But that was great racing between the two teammates. Carrying it side by side through the chicane. I would say it's difficult for me to even see someone go through there side by side, especially in the way that they did it, because they actually kept some decent speed. Actually kept racing speed. Langeveld has just set the fastest lap of the race, 103.53. That is the fastest lap of the race with quite some margin as well. About 3/4 of a second. Shante in P5, that's a great position for him too. Of course, still has to make a pit stop. Torsten Gross, Markus Deutscher in now. Gap to Mirko Bortolotti now from Maximilian Paul is about 3 seconds. And we knew that he was champion already, but he's looking to go out with a bang. Did not qualify, still is in the lead by about 3 seconds. I am quite impressed though by the way that this Langeveld is driving at the moment. He's right up behind Marinko Jordanovski. Of course, has just overtaken Mr. Eckel, who is now taking with him. That means that they'll be coming out, I'd say around P8, P7 for Niels Langeveld. Looking at what still needs to pit ahead. Also just heard from race control that it was indeed a slowdown at the beginning of the race that cost Hugo the P1. Eckel comes back at Marinko Jordanovski after Niels Langeveld's gotten past him as well. And here he is, Mirko Bortolotti still needs to make a pit stop with about 5 minutes left. We've seen drivers run very late in some of these races. Further back in the field, there's an amazing fight going on between Winston Eckel and Martin Stadtmann. Winston Eckel around the outside of Martin Stadtmann. Martin Stadtmann saying, I'm having none of it, but Winston Eckel says, you don't have a choice, my friend. Off you go. Now that has allowed Marinko Jordanovski to even come back at Stadtmann. Contact between the two teammates. Minutes left in this race, about 4 laps to go. Still, drivers need to make a pit stop. Mirko Bortolotti once again continues. Hugo Rob, Maximilian Paul, Chanter, Florian Stadtmann come in. So it's only the top 2 now that need to make a pit stop. There's Niels Langeveld, I set P7, P8, and it is going to be P7 for him. Winston Eckel P8, he has lost that P7 that he was in before. But a great comeback drive from Niels Langeveld. I told you he was going to gain positions if he could keep it on the road this time around, and he has done so. That means he's gone from P18 all the way up to P7. He's gained 11 positions by far and a mile. The biggest gainer in the field. Driver who's lost the most positions, well, that is Pascal Haas. He's down at P21. Mirko Bortolotti in the pit lane now. Jens Fiedler, is he going to continue? I don't think he is. He could well gain that position too, you know, Niels Langeveld and Winston Eckel. Depending on how and when he stops. Bortolotti's out already. Here he is. Jens Fiedler is indeed dropping back. Niels Langeveld and both Winston Eckel get in. Marinko Jordanovski, Martin Stadtmann. They're all going to get him. Benny Moos is going to get him. So is Wannenberg. And there's a bit of a gap though to Chante, and that is the gap that he's going to slot into. Luca Bortolotti now, after having made his pit stop, he's going to have to complete 2 more laps, and that'll seal the deal for him in this server. Further back in the field, Martin Stadtmann still in the battle with Marinko Jordanovski. Florian Stadtmann is right behind Hugo Zasse. Florian Stadtmann saying, well sir, I'm going to get past if you like it or not. Donk is trying to get past Florian Stadtmann and saying, I'm having none of that. You're staying where you are, my friend. Stadtmann then comes back at him, going on to the straight. Martin Stadtmann has just dropped out. He's gone back to pits. What's happened to him? Well, I can tell you what happened to him. This is what happened to him. This is the battle together, of course, with Marinko Jordanovski. Has he done it all by himself? Yes, he has. Oh, he just stops and... Wow. Well then. Well. Did not expect that. However, Mirko Bortolotti is getting the white flag from Barney. And after his season, it looked like at the beginning it was going to be the closest season so far. Well, I can tell you it was till the last round when Lucas didn't show up. Jonas Varna had wheelbase issues that put him out for the last 3 rounds of the season. But that takes nothing away from the fact that the man from Italy, who runs the championship, who owns the championship, and who's been a champion for the 4 previous seasons in the W12 Sprint Series, has once again delivered, coming through the final corner onto the straight. Mirko Bortolotti becomes a 5-time champion of the W12 Sprint Series. Take a bow, my son. And Mirko Bortolotti does it again from the back of the field. No qualification in the heat race, came back to P2 at the end. But it was enough for him to start up the front of the field and take a lights the flag victory. Because let's be honest, he led from the moment the light went out. And he led when the flag dropped. In the Silver Championship, of course, we cannot forget that either. There's a battle going on there too. And if we look at the standings in the Silver Championship, well, that is led by Florian Stadtmann. Ben Buhnagel is the closest there. Ben Buhnagel isn't here this evening. Then the closest is Stefano Pellegrino, isn't there either. Torsten Gross is on 41. Only 15 points behind him. And he has led him. He's taken 14th position. So a couple of points gained over Florian Stadtmann there. But not quite enough. Well, let's take a look at the results. Here it is. Before we do so, I think we go to the draw first. what a race we've once again seen.
Right, let's wait a few seconds. Ah, Danny's here.
I am here.
Okay, let's continue then with the draw of the second race. Clearing my screen.
There we go. There we go.
Please say it.
All right, we're all ready from this side.
GT3, GT, GTP. Those are the three options for tonight.
Well then, the last draw of season 5.
Let's start with 2 cars.
All right, the GTP, GT3 or GTE, we've had all 3 of them already. GTE is the first one to go into the final draw. So now we can choose between GT3 or GTP.
We'll just leave it like that, I think.
Yeah, I think that's how we've done it for the whole season, for the first
Just
for the first draw. It's going to be GT3. So it's got to be a GT car. None. Question is which one.
And which track, which we're gonna find out soon. So in both cases, it's gonna be standing start. And if the GT3 will get drawn, there is a BOP. Everybody is free to choose. Make sure you read that. And if the GTE gets drawn, then you have to choose based on the entry list or the car location, as we've had already a race there, and some cars are affected by success ballast, and some drivers are locked to that specific car. So we will talk about it once it's selected. We move to the tracks now. Those are the options. We will start again with 2. I will shuffle it up a bit and let's go.
Right, so the first one going into the final draw will be, we're once again close to Mugello, but it's going to be Road Atlanta.
Seems like we always pick an American track in server 2. Let's see if it's gonna be Road Atlanta or something else.
At the
Cannot
bottom,
find it.
completely at the bottom
Oh,
now.
there it
There
is.
we go.
Right.
So Road Atlanta. And which other track is going to go into the final draw? Well, I have a feeling, Mirko, that we're going to America again.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. So after last week, the week before, basically every race I think we had so far, and also server 1 at Lime Rock, we will be back in on an American track.
I mean,
So we don't have the super formula, so we don't have an issue with the fact that both tracks are eligible. I will just do some more of those.
All right then.
Right, and before we select track and car, and then everybody obviously will leave out of the Discord, I would like to wish everyone Merry Christmas, a good end of year, and wish you all the best to you and your families. Stay safe, and we are looking forward to see you back at the restart of the W12 series, which will take place on the 8th of January. But more infos will follow in the next days, as already said at the beginning. So let's select the tracks now and the car, and then we are ready to race for the last time in this year.
It looks like it is going to be Road Atlanta, or is it VIR? It's VIR.
Well, that's an amazing track, obviously. Really, really cool track. For those who don't own it, for sure it's worth buying it.
I think it's free. VIR is a free
Oh.
is a free track.
Even better. Oh, sorry, that was not supposed to be. Okay, now we have the two options, GT3 and GTE, as we already drawn before. So let's spice it up even more.
I think both cars would fit really well at the track. I think every car would fit really well at the VIR track.
Would be a good combo in any case. Let's put it that way. So let's find out if it's gonna be the GTE or the GT3. Let's go.
It's going to be a GT car nonetheless, and it's going to be the GT3. So,
Right,
BOP
so
in
first
mind.
time GT3 for this season. Keep an eye on the BOP. You're free to choose your car. Server will be up shortly, and see you guys soon. Bye bye.
Well then, that was a very interesting one, especially judging the fact that after that race, Mirko Bozzati, of course, was already champion at the start of this evening with Lucas not being here. But, well, as you've seen, GT3, the first time this season, it's not a season that car is missed now. We will be back very soon with Server 2. Well, welcome back at the circuit of Virginia International Raceway. And, well, with about a minute of practice left, these drivers have tried to set their best lap times. This is a 5.22 kilometer long track, a track that I know very well. We've done a 12-hour endurance race round here in the Honda Civic Type R TCR. Of course, we are here with the GT3s. Well, you could say very up-to-date GT3s for most of them. The Audi has of course been released lately. We have the new Mercedes in here, the new Ferrari 296. We have, if I'm not wrong, we have the new Porsche here as well. So all those cars new. The only older gen cars that we have in here is the Lamborghini and the BMW. No one has opted to take the Ford. Mirko Bortolotti has opted to take the Porsche. It's an open qualifying. From what I knew, this was not supposed to be the case. But I could be wrong. Jens Fiedler in the very much Christmas themed BMW. Ferrari of Florian Strattmann trying to get out of the way. Ferrari car that has been chosen a lot. The new Audi has been chosen a lot. The Porsche. Porsche actually seems to be pretty okay around this track. Any track where it's twisty basically is where the Porsche does really well. The Audi off. And the Audi back on. Which Audi was that? The feeling I know who it was. That was Marinko Jordanowski. Maximilian Paul, of course, in the Lamborghini. Won his first ever race this season in the DTM, the first race that he did in the DTM, and he won it in the Lamborghini, of course. So a car that's very close to his heart. Hugo Ropp with a 1:49 lap time. Lap time start counting immediately out of the pits. And that's an off track for sure for Hugo Ropp, so that lap time won't count. We'll be obliged to let the drivers behind through. Maximilian Paul. There he goes, pulled over to the left hand side of the road. That's Maximilian Paul through. Very close to the edge there from Maxi. He'll set the benchmark for us. So let us see what lap time we should be aiming at. To the roller coaster. 11A and 11B. Mirko Bortolotti right behind Maxi. He's quick. Maximilian Paul across the line in a few moments' time. Here we go. What is the lap time going to be for Maximilian Paul? A 1:45.20. Yes, Marius Zug, also in the Lamborghini. At the moment, top of the standings, Lamborghini, Porsche, Audi. Oh, Mirko said he was not going to do qualifying, but he has done qualifying here. With Mirko Bortolotti. The last corner is purple again. Maximilian Paul ahead of him was green in the first two sectors. Has left some time on the table. This time round though, gets his improvement, 44.95, and that might be well needed, but it isn't enough because Mirko Bortolotti goes to the top of the standings on a 44.88. Marius Zug right behind him in P3. How's a Porsche going off there? Yes, that was Lisa Langeveld. In the pink T-Rex livery. So then, Winston is the leading Ferrari in the Emil Frey Ferrari. Car driven by Jack Aitken this season for the Verstappen.com Racing. Maximilian Paul once again got an improvement, but once again it wasn't enough for him to improve positions wise. Improved by only a couple of thousandths of a second. I'll tell you who's improving. Marinko Jordanovski is improving. He goes up into P8. What is Winston Eckel doing? Winston Eckel is great in 3 sectors so far. Needs that improvement. He needs about 1.5 seconds to jump up to the top. I don't think he's going to find that, but he's going to be closer. He comes within 0.7 of a second. He jumps up to P11. But with 0.7 of a second in these stock GT3 classes, it's not easy to get your way into the top 10. Because it is also close at the top. That we see here too. Quentin Verdonk in the Audi for the DSRT team. Well, let's go a lap on board then with Quinten Verdonk. Gonna shut myself up. Let's go on board a lap with Quinten Verdonk. Well then, that was a lap on board with Quinten Verdonk. Saying that, after that lap, he immediately spins it round. Not ideal, less than ideal to say the least. Maximilian Paul still behind Mirko Bortolotti, but Yannick Bornenberg in the Porsche has now gone to the provisional pole. Yannick Bornenberg, very quick in these cars. Incredibly quick in these cars. So it's kind of to be expected. Jump to the top of the standings. Only 600ths of a second though over Mirko Bortolotti. Maximilian Paulus purple with the slipstream down the front stretch. That could give him that much needed pole position. Two purple sectors. Jumps up into second. There was almost no room left in between Mirko Bortolotti and Bornenberg, but Maximilian Paulus found it. 200ths of a second behind him. Bornenberg last time round set a 44.82. This time round he's not improving. To the roller coaster and out of the roller coaster again. He's not improving. There's Yannick Bornenberg, Mirko Bortolotti. was purple in the first sector. There's also green in the fourth sector. He's finding time out there. He only needs 600ths of a second. And you don't need every sector purple to go to the front of the field. Mirko Bortolotti with time not on his side. Needs a lap here. And is he going to get it? That's the question. Across the line. The Porsche driver, will he find it? The answer is no, he won't. 400ths of a second slower than his quickest lap time. Yannick Wallenberg was improving in sector 1, but well, you can see there why. Spun round and time not on his side. He's going to go out again because every corner you can practice one more is once more practiced. That didn't come out there as I wanted it to be honest. Every time you go around the track, it's one more lap that you can practice. So it's worth it. Mirko Bortolotti, this could well be his last shot, and he's once again improving. So he's improving. Paul got snatched away from him. Vettel still the first of the Ferraris, and Svidla the first of the BMWs. This is how we're looking at the moment on the left hand side. So it's Porsche, Lamborghini, Porsche, Audi, Porsche, Lamborghini. Very much seems like Porsche is the car to have here. Then it's Audi, Mercedes, BMW, Audi, Lamborghini, Ferrari, Audi, Ferrari, BMW, Porsche in the top 20. Drivers are not qualifying. That's Martin Stadtmann, Tom Leitgeb and Thomas Egelwolf. Those drivers are not qualifying, of course. Oh, and around goes the BMW, the 84 of Jens Fiedler. That means he stays where he is. Purple in the middle sector. Yes, Hugo Roppi's just set a lap and he did not improve. However, though, I think Daniel Sommer just improved. That means that he's going to start from P5. Well, let's look at the grid then. For the last time in the sprint race here in Server 2 this season. Here it is. Mirko Bortolotti is going to start from pole position. He did get the lap time, 44.5. How did we miss that? Mirko Bortolotti starting from the front row. Not only from the front row, but from the pole position. Excuse me for that. Yannick Vonenberg in P2. Maximilian Paul in second. Marius Zug fourth. Daniel Sommer fifth. Nils Langeveld sixth. Benny Mosa seventh. Quinten Verdonken eighth. Ninth. Hugo Roppi. Jens Fiedler 10th. Marinko Jordanovski in 11th. Hugo Zasse in P12. Mirko said that he was not going to qualify. Well, he did not keep his promise there. Winston Eckel in P13. Pascal Haas P14. P15. Sean Tay. Christian Ablas up in P16, Florian Stadtmann 17, Torsten Gross 19 or 18th, Lucas Camber 19, Marcus Deutsch 20th, Tom Leitgeb 21st, Thomas Egerwolf P22, Martin Stadtmann P23. Well, then Mirko said at the beginning of this race, or at the beginning of this evening, he sent me a message, and that message reads as follows. Won't be doing quali here, maybe server 2, and then he wrote, I will not do quali today in both servers to spice things up. So there we go. Marco Bortolotti will start from pole position. To the credit of the man, did everything he needed to do. Here we go, 5 red lights, on the gantry, lights out, and it's a good start from the Porsche. From the both Porsches on the front row, a great start from the Lamborghini of Marius Zug, already put it to the outside of Yannick Vonenberg, around the outside of Marco Bortolotti to Marius Zug, just about getting it stopped before the corner. A bit too enthusiastic coming out of that start finish straight, and that allows the Audi of Daniel Sommer to get up the road. The Asher Racing sponsored Audi now ahead of Marius Zug, Yannick Vonenberg in P2. Quinten Verdon cut 1. Around the outside goes Niels Langeveld of Quinten Verdon. Oh, that's a crash. That is Quinten Verdon. I just talked about him. Is everyone going to be able to get around him? They are. Some of them aren't, but most of the field able to get around him. And once again involved in that. Well, no, it wasn't. Luckily, I saw once again involved in that was Niels Langeveld. But Niels Langeveld is still at the front of the field. So that's good for him. Of course, was involved in 2 crashes. Race in the consolation race in the first server. Managed to gather back some positions in the feature race, of course, but it really did hamper his chances. The fact that he, got caught up in incidents in both the heat race and the consolation race. Bortolotti's still out at the front of the field, but I have a feeling that it's going to be quite close with Yannick Vonenberg, who's not going to give up this fight. And then Daniel Sommer in P3, Marius Zug 4th, Niels Langeveld in 5th. Benny Mosa in 6th, Hugo Robb in 7th, then Hugo Zasse 8th, and Winston Eckel in P9. Here is Winston Eckel, good exit compared to the Lamborghini ahead of him. Goes to the outside of Hugo Zasse. That Ferrari is massive in a straight line. Sends it round the outside, going into turn 1, breaks late. Hugo Zasse comes back up the inside, but he's going to carry it all the way around. That is going to give him the inside for the left-hander, and well, that's where you want to be there. He's going to back out of it. It looked like for a moment he was going to back out of it, but Winston has none of it. Gets past the Lamborghini of Hugo Zasse, now has to defend compared to him, and does so successfully. That is position gate. Job done for Winston Eckel. Hugo up next. Still the leading Ferrari. Mercedes still out there for Hugo Robb. The only Mercedes out there. Sommer all over the gearbox of Yannick Vonenberg. For a moment I thought the rear wing of that Audi was damaged, but it luckily wasn't for Daniel Sommer. Haas is on the back of Hugo Zasse now as well. Hugo Zasse is dropping back here after a great start. He's losing time. Pascal Haas not yet able to get past him. Front of the field, Yannick Vonenberg is dropping back now from Marco Bortolotti. Daniel Sommer wants to get past him. Closer to the back of Yannick Vonenberg, a good exit, I thought for a second, but the second part The second acceleration phase of that Audi, not as strong as the Porsche this time round. The Audi is quick though. You know, every time a car comes out in iRacing, it's immediately quick. That was a very weird sounding Audi. Looked like he was modulating the power. As a look to the inside, as a dive to the inside of Yannick, can stop it just before. But is that damage that I can see to the front of Daniel Sommer's car? That hood is definitely loose. Let's go to an off-board shot. The outside now for the Lamborghini of Marius Zug. There was definitely contact there. Yeah, look at that front of the Audi, all smashed up. Wow, did not expect that. That did not look like a massive hit for the Audi, but Daniel Sommer with loads and loads of damage to that car. Now also vulnerable to the Porsche of Niels Langevel. There's contact between the two. Niels Langevel tried to put it up the inside at his spot where it never was going to happen. Also doesn't decide to hold the brakes, goes back across the track. Look now, everyone is storming up behind him to get past. Winston Eckel, through all of that, has gained 8 positions. That is something else. I want to see that. I want to see that one again. Here we go. Let's go on board. Gyro cam. On board. Yeah, he is slow. I mean, at this point, honestly, if you are, then coming back across the circuit wasn't the best option. But I think at that point, if you are Daniel Sommer, just get out of the power. You are done. Your race is ruined. Let's see, Maximilian Paul. Marius Zug. I can't find the crash from. Can't find the crash that we had earlier on with Daniel Sommer and Yannick Wonenberg. But if we look at the back of that car, that looks absolutely fine. And then if you look how smashed up the Audi is, then I have questions. Pascal Haas back at Niels Langevel now. Niels Langevel seems to be fine as well. That Audi was fragile. So then Mirko Bortolotti leading this race ahead of Yannick Wonenberg, Marius Zug right behind him, and then Benny Mosa in 4th. Now we're going to be making pit stops, and Mirko Bortolotti opens that dance. Is Winston Eckel going to follow them in? Yes, he is. Everyone is in. Jens Fiedler, he's going to follow them in. Maximilian Paul, Sean Ter, everyone's coming through. Is Torsten Gross also coming in? Yes, he is. There's one Ferrari continuing. That Ferrari is not on the lead lap anymore. That is Florian Stadtmann. He's down on P18. He's already made his pit stop. Drivers who have made their pit stop already. Well, Christian Ablas still has to make his. Daniel Sommer, the first one to make his pit stop. But wow, look at the smashed up front that car had. It's fine now. But I had questions. Coming out of pit lane, Mirko Bortolotti still leads at Marius Zug. in the Lamborghini. Yannick Vonenberg in the Porsche ahead of Benny Moser in the Audi. Winston Eckel still in 5th in the Ferrari, still by quite a margin, the highest placed Ferrari. The drivers in the Ferraris, Thomas Egelwolf and Florian Stadtmann. Thomas Egelwolf didn't start, neither did Tom Leitgeb and Martin Stadtmann. Be 21, 22 and 23 for them at best. Marco Bortolotti has been nothing short of impressive here. On board with the Italian, now 5-time champion of the W12 Sprint Series. Season 6, like he said, kicking off at the beginning of January. Going into the roller coaster, up into it and out and down out of it. Here he is. There behind us we can see Yannick Vonenberg. Board now with Vonenberg, who has some work to do here. With Marius Zug about 0.6 of a second up, and then finally the ticker shows up. I had that on for the whole race, but finally it's here. You can see the previous lap times as well. Looking at the gaps there between the drivers. There we go, left hand side, 1.8 seconds from Marius Zug. So at the back of Marco Bortolotti's Porsche. 6 minutes to go here. Marius Zug is quick. Stadtmann had an off-track moment. This is what happened to him. Oh, just too quick going into the last corner. And that's what happens. And then the road keeps falling away from you there, so it's difficult to get back onto the asphalt. Markus Deutschel has also just had a moment. Here's what happened to him in the Austrian Sim Races BMW. He's going to go round into Oak Tree. Yeah, that's him done. No, it isn't. I thought he was going to be stuck on the curb there. But it wasn't. He's still alive, luckily. To go onto the grass, Marius Zug pushing to make up the time to Bortolotti. That has allowed Yannick Vonenberg to get close to him. Maybe overdriving the car a bit. This is Niels Langeveld on the back of Winston Eckel now. Hugo Rob has just got past Winston Eckel. Hugo Rob. Give Winston Eckel the slipstream. On board now with Niels Langeveld trying to make his way around the outside once again. Putting his car in a position where it's easy for him to be pushed out wide. But that shows the intent of not hanging around here. Winston Eckel's pit stop time was very short. Is he maybe needing to save some fuel? Has he messed up his strategy? Hugo Zuss and Daniel Sommer. They're coming together. There goes Winston Eckel off the track. That has allowed Pascal Haas in the Audi to come through. So from here to 0, pretty quickly here for Winston Eckel. P5 before the pit stops, P8 after. Not what you need. Very quick in the early stages, in the early phase of this race, but doesn't seem to be here. Especially with Jens Fiedler and Maximilian Paul now in the background, looking to try and get back to him. Maximilian Paul was quick in qualifying, has been quick in the race, but he's had some unfortunate incidents. So has Hugo Zuss and Daniel Sommer. Daniel Sommer in the Audi. Hugo Zuss, I think in the Lamborghini ahead of him. Yes, the Lamborghini ahead of him. Well, Daniel Sommer. Let's put it like this: it's not the race that Daniel Sommer was hoping for. On board with Daniel Sommer, you're going to see he has nowhere to go here. So ahead of him is Hugo Zuss. He spins, tries to make his way around the outside, and well, has literally nowhere to go. Was passenger in his own car. Maximilian Paul still behind Jens Fiedler. Niels Langeveld now on the back of the Mercedes of Hugo Rob. Is the white flag waving? That's the question. Marco Bortolotti has just gone past start finish. I think it is. On the left hand side, look for Barney. Waving that white flag. Here they come. I think he was. Maximilian Paul coming through now. Marinko Jordanovski right hand side of the screen. There is Barney waving the white flag. So Marco Bortolotti once again led this race from start to finish. There's no one else who's led this race bar him. But it does have to be said, this man, I think even if the others were here, has looked unbeatable this evening. He's looked absolutely unbeatable. And through the final corner he comes. Back on to the start-finish straight. Marco Bortolotti was crowned champion in the last race and he's going to win it again. Across the line. He does it in the Porsche. The Porsche that looked the car of choice here for Yannick Wonenberg as well. And Niels Langeveld. The Porsche was quick here this evening at, or is quick, Virginia International Raceway. But we have one more race left. Niels Langeveld finishes it in P6 behind Hugo Rob in P5. Winston Eckel kept it P8. Jens Fiedler is done as well. Marinko Jordanovski in the Audi. Loads of Audis around P11, P14. There goes Daniel Sommer expressing his feelings. And well, that's how that car looked basically after the contact with Yannick Wonenberg. Christian Ablasse, the last one that we're waiting for to come around, and then we can have a look at the standings, or at the results, I should say. Well then, here we go. Across the line for Christian Ablasse. And here we have it then, the result for you. Mirko Bortolotti wins ahead of Marius Zug. Then Yannick Wodenberg in P3 ahead of Benny Moser P4. Hugo Rob 5th. Niels Langeveld 6th. Pascal Haas 7th. Winston Enkel 8th. Maximilian Paul 9th. Jens Fiedler 10th. Sean Ter 11th. Marinko Jordanovski 12th. Daniel Sommer 13th. Torsten Gross 14th. Hugo Zasse 15th. Marcus Deutsch 16th. Christian Ablasa 17th. Florian Stadtmann 18th. Quinten Verdonk 19th. And Lucas Krambert in 20th. Well, that was that then for the last sprint race of 2023 for the W12 Sprint Series. Well, the only thing that's awaiting us now is the feature race. Here we go then, it's action time for the final time in the W12 Sprint Series. Let's go to the grid with Florian Stadtmann up front, Christian Ablasa P2, Marcus Deutsch P3, Hugo Zasse 4, Torsten Gross 5th, Daniel Sommer 6th, Marinko Jordanovski 7th, Sean Ter 8th, Jens Fiedler 9th, Maximilian Paul 10th, Winston Enkel 11th, Pascal Haas P12, that's it. We don't have time for more. Going to the front of the field, Florian Stadtmann.
Green.
It's lights out and we're underway for the final time in 2023 for the W12 Sprint Series. And it's a great start for Christian Ablasa. Down the inside comes Florian Stadtmann. Has to leave that door open. No, something's going to happen, and something did happen in turn 1. That was the Porsche, I think, of Lucas. Oh, no, we're still crashing. We're still crashing. It's not done yet. Is Mirko Bortolotti caught up in it? Mirko Bortolotti was not caught up in it. He's still alive. Christian Ablasa in P1 ahead of Sean Ter now. Sean Ter, look at the train he has behind him. My goodness me. If I'd see that behind me, I'd pull over if I was him. God, that looks scary. That is the Ferrari of Florian Stadtmann. Then Hugo Zasse, Marcus Deutsch, Marinko Jordanovski, Hugo Rob, Winston Enkel in 8th once again. Biggest gainer on the opening lap. Hugo Rob, he's up 7 positions. Together with Quinten Verdonk also up 7. Mirko Bortolotti though up 8 now. Oh, cars off in the background. That's Hugo Rob. He's been able to just miss the barrier. Oh, coming back onto the track. Sketchy, he goes into pit lane, breaks early. The BMW of, who is that? BMW of Marcus Deutsch was stranded there. What happened to Marcus Deutsch? Here we go, this is what happened. He touched the grass, he spun. No, the Audi. Oh, he wanted to go into pit lane. Ah, big one there. Oh, that was Quinten Verdonk in the DSRT Audi, having the biggest scare of his life. Just look at that again. Go on board with Quinten Verdonk. This is Quinten Verdonk. Look up ahead. There's the crash. Oh, if you see that BMW coming, you absolutely shit your pants. for the language there, but that's exactly how you would feel. Sean Terry is now leading the way ahead of Christian Ablasa. Back to live pictures. That is the gap that he has. Florian Stadtmann still with Hugo Zasse behind him. A lot of people pitting early here. Mirko Bortolotti now stuck behind the BMW of Jens Fiedler. Fiedler is now trying to make the move up the inside of Florian Stadtmann. That doesn't quite pull that off. Mirko Bortolotti tries to get through as well. He does pull it off. Down the outside now, Florian Stadtmann manages to carry the speed round. What a move from the Italian stallion. Ablas at the front of the field under pressure by Winston Eckel. Good exit from the Ferrari. This is the view from the nose cam of Winston Eckel. Almost looking into the gearbox of that Porsche, pulling onto the left-hand side. This is a tricky one. You're going to have to carry it around the outside. No, he's not. Ablasa gives that one up. Jens Fiedler now trying to make his way through. Oh my goodness me. Old shambolish going on there with Jens Fiedler or with Christian Ablasa. Checking in and out. There he goes once again. Mirko Bortolotti now trying to make his way around the outside of Christian. He gets his way through as well. So in one lap, Christian Ablasa from P2 drops all the way down to P5. That's in the span of a quarter of a lap, basically. It does really tell you when it rains, it pours. Sean Terry now next target for Winston Eckel at the front of the field. 1.5 seconds is the gap. Hang on to this, he would become the youngest ever winner of the W12 Sprint Series. Of course, was in the silver class last season. Promoted to the overall class. But at 13 years old. Sean Terry is leading the W12 Sprint race with about 11 minutes 20 to go. Now Monenberg with the fastest lap of the race. He hasn't made his pit stop yet. So is this his genuine position? For the back of the field, Quinten Verdonk and Florian Stadtmann fighting. These have made their pit stop already. Hugo Zasse, the leading driver who's made a pit stop. And with about 33 seconds to Sean Terry. That's close to leading this race, coming out of pit lane for Sean Terry. Mirko Bortolotti is in. Now Mirko Bortolotti is out again. There we go. Takes the pit limiter off. And on he goes. Quite a long pit lane here at VIR compared to the other tracks that we've been to this season. Christian Ablasat 3 positions lost compared to where he started, but hanging on to P5 now. Winston Eckel 1.1 back of Chanter. What a story it would be. Last race of 2023 could become the youngest ever W12 Sprint Series winner. But it's not over yet. Still has to hold on for 9 more minutes. And has to hold on against a very quick Winston Eckel. Into pit lane they all go. So now it's a straight up battle. Look at the time he lost going on to pit road. That is the time you can gain by practicing that. Oh, Winston Eckel misses his pit stall. That's going to buy Chanter some time. Where is Winston Eckel going to come out? Here he goes. Oh, he's going to come out behind the Jens Fiedler. Chanter is already moving as well. Coming out of pit lane. Where's Mirko Bortolotti going to come out? Somewhere in between. He's going to be second. He's going to be right behind Chanter, and that is what pitting a lap earlier does to you. No, Chanter, what have you done? The leader of the race, Chanter, under the pressure, going into turn 1, completely overcooks it. My oh my, and that is the story from what could have been over. And for the second time this season, leading a race, Chanter pins it into turn 1. Last time he did it was at Motorland Aragon. My oh my, I'm speechless after that. What a way that would have been to end the season. Would have been, should have been, could have been. That's what Chanter will be thinking now. But has given the lead to Mirko Bortolotti, and I think everyone at home would have liked to see someone else but Mirko Bortolotti win this evening. Mirko, mate, can you not slow down and give the win to Jens Fiedler or something in the BMW? That'll be very much appreciated. He's champion anyways. Looking, however, further behind. This man here has to hold on for 7 more minutes, and then he becomes the Season 5 silver champion, Florian Stadtmann. What a way that is to round off 2023. This is a battle though. Benny Mosa at the inside of Hugo Rob. Rob the Mercedes, not happy in that car, it seems like at the moment. Ablasa leading the silver class. Winston Eckel in P3 on the podium. Not bad for that Ferrari either. A better race. Anyways, for the Ferraris, Florian Stadtmann is up there now for the silver class. There is Winston Eckel, the gap ahead of him, 1 second. So definitely not untouchable for the Dutchman. He hasn't seen a victory either yet in W12 Sprint Series. This could be his day. My oh my, this man, you have to give it to him. 13 years of age, Shante. The speed that this young man has got is going to get him places. He's a very promising young prospect. The dedication that he gives to sim racing, he's definitely going to become a big one. A big moment for him, winning a race in the W12 Sprint Series. It's not over though. 8/10 behind Hugo Zasse. Trying to gain back some lost ground. Jens Fiedler has now dropped off massively from Mirko Bortolotti. 3.5 minutes left here. The season is almost over. Just on the fastest lap of the race. Montenegro might not yet be safe for the podium here. This might become a three-way fight here for P2. Jens Fiedler, Montenegro, Marius Zug. And if they don't watch out, Hugo Zasse and Sean Ter behind that as well. Well then, Mirko Bortolotti's going to get the white flag here. Trying to figure out a camera angle that we can see this best from. It's the pit lane cam, it is. Top right. You couldn't quite see it, but there's Barney waving the white flag. Last lap of the season. Last lap of 2023 for the W12 Sprint Series. Enjoy it. Mirko Bortolotti leading the way ahead of Jens Fiedler. Winston Eckel. This is definitely not done yet. Marius Zug right behind him. This is going to go right down to the line. Winston Eckel is going to have a look up the inside of Jens Fiedler. He's going to get Jens Fiedler on the last lap. Marius Zug might get him as well. Might deny Jens Fiedler from the podium. Jens Fiedler would deserve a podium here. But wow, wow, wow. Background there's Hugo Zasse and Sean Ter. Jens Fiedler trying to come back at Winston Eckel out, breaking himself, and that allows Marius Zug through. Well then, Jens Fiedler, do you have an answer, sir? Do you have an answer to the Lamborghini? Oh, that's very late defending from Marius Zug. He's going to push him all the way to the outside. It'll give Jens Fiedler the inside for the second part of the roller coaster. He's not able to stay there. And Marius Zuk is going to get P3. Mirko Bortolotti, though, is going to win another one. But this man, Florian Stadtmann, has done everything right this season in the silver class. For a long time it looked like, well, Quinten Verdonk was going to win the silver class. He later was deemed to be too quick for that class and he was moved to the overall. That opened up the opportunity for Florian Stadtmann. With 2 rounds missed, to pick up that championship. And Florian Stadtmann will be your 2023 Season 5 silver champion. Take a bow, Florian Stadtmann. What a way to end the 2023 sim racing season. Picks up a top 10 in the making of that as well. Would have liked to see some donuts from him, but that was not the case. Marcus Deutsch is the last one that we're waiting for. But wow, wow, wow. What a season that was. Well then, Marcus Deutsch, last one to come across the line. In the BMW. What a season we have had. Well, there we go. There is the result of the feature race. Mirko Bortolotti once again on top. Second is Winston Eckel. Marius Zuk in third. Jens Fiedler fourth. Hugo Zasse in fifth. Sean Tay sixth. Benny Moza seventh. Hugo Ropp in eighth. Christian Ablasa in ninth. Florian Stadtmann, our silver champion of 2023 Season 5 of the W12 Sprint Series. Take about Yannick Wonenberg in P11, Niels Langeveld 12th, Marinko Adanovsky 13th, Marcus Deutsch 14th, Lucas Kramberg 15th, Quinten Verdonk 16th, Torsten Groh 17th, Pascal Haas 18th, Daniel Sommer 19th, and Maximilian Paul in P20, rounding off all the finishes that we had in that last race. Well, that is it then, ladies and gentlemen, for the 2023 season. I thank you all very much for watching. It's all very much appreciated. And of course, a very happy 2024, a very happy Christmas. And of course, thank you all for the season. Congratulations to Florian Stadtmann for winning the silver class. Congratulations to Mirko Bortolotti for winning the overall championship for a 5th year in a row, or for a 5th season in a row. What a drive it has been from all of them. Catch us, of course, back next year, beginning of January, when we start W12 Season 6. Until then, have a very happy Christmas and a very happy New Year. Until then, stay safe, and we'll see you on the other side. Bye-bye.